Hey guys, welcome back to the Transformation Church Weekly Message Recap Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Justin Oswald, one of the pastors here at Transformation Church with lead pastor Brad Livingston.
What up, y'all?
Ricardo, Pastor Rick. Making his way on the podcast.
Like this TikTok meme of this Mexican dude going like, I think he's totally drunk. And he's like,
And then John's back there.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. John is white,
extremely.
not Mexican, like Ricardo.
Yes.
Speaking of Mexican,
Hey, yo.
we ate at the original Chewy's last week.
Yes.
You love Chewy's.
Yes,
I
we did.
love Chewy.
And I
Absolutely
do
love
like
it.
Chewy's, but I've always been like, it's a chain. But when you're at the original, before it was a chain,
Yeah, it did feel a little different.
it didn't. Have you been there in Austin?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rick
it was-
said that
it
like,
was-
Trevor, that's the,
Yeah, that's like,
this is alma
Mecca.
mater.
I was offended that you would even ask that question. Like,
Bro, our little hippie, our
that's
little
his
hippie
fraternity.
retreat. Our little hippie retreat was literally behind that, right around the corner. We walked there.
Literally.
Literally.
We walked there.
Yeah.
yeah, it's fantastic.
If you hear some craziness going on, there's construction happening behind us in the auditorium, below us.
Yep.
Progress is the sound of progress, people.
Sound of progress,
Maybe this is a
baby.
good opportunity. Can we tell people what we're doing yet?
Yep, I think we can.
go
Can we
ahead.
tell them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're doing some we're doing some construction to our stage area. We everyone knows we're about to do a big expansion. We keep saying about to because it's all in the word. It's happening. We'll be revealing in a matter of weeks. We're doing a reveal.
Let's
Yep.
go.
In a matter of weeks.
So we're not going to talk about that. But what we are doing is we're also, as if you're a part of us and you know that our Sundays were growing, we're trying to make space in the auditorium to prevent us from going to a fourth service. I don't think our teams, we're not ready for a fourth service.
Correct.
Even though the world was getting the need for a fourth service.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make some room in the auditorium. If you did not know, you may not be able to tell. Good night.
Yeah.
It's so distracting.
It's so loud.
If you did not know this, our stage is humongous.
It is
Massive.
Yes.
And where some of the lighting that's on the background comes up, it's off the wall, but like the stage is humongous for a room our size.
it has more square footage than my first house.
Oh yeah.
Mine too.
It's
My
a
apartment.
It's a massive stage for the size of our room. So we're actually cutting it back some. So we're cutting the from the center of the curve, in the center of the stage. We're cutting that 6 feet back and redoing some things. And in that we have a new PA system coming in before long. So I have a whole new sound system.
Yep.
The reason for that is the sound system we have is what we inherited when we bought the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was not designed for the way we do praise and worship. It was designed for
even
more
close.
choir and hymnal type
choir,
stuff.
piano only.
So what we have is what we inherited, and if you've ever noticed on the front of our stage those speakers we've added all that to fill in the gaps. But we're running everything at capacity, the whole thing. So,
Everything's maxed out. Yeah.
yeah. So we have a new sound system on order, and
Hey-yo.
and
Say it.
and a new fun LED wall.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, coming in.
Yay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
That's going to enhance our worship experience a lot. It's going to be it's new technology, and part of the reason for that is it's the expansion. Instead of putting like in the new kids worship area, instead of outfitting it with the top of the line, we're kind of repurposed. So like our projector that's in our auditorium, which is the top of the line projector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids need something, so that'll go in there.
Right.
So they'll have a top of the line
Yeah.
equipment.
Instead of buying a projector for the kids' room,
Yeah.
we're moving our auditorium projector, and so, but projectors in auditoriums are kind of becoming outdated. LED walls are way more efficient, cleaner, crisper, better picture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And it goes with our, it makes the online experience better.
Yep.
So there's a lot of reasons. So that stuff is all in the works. So all the racket you hear is them doing some stage construction.
Yeah, you guys, however much of that you can hear. So what's happening in the auditorium is technically phase 1 of the expansion.
That's right.
So, yeah, so it's like, it's one of those things, like, we're not doing this instead of the expansion. This is kind of the first phase of the expansion, of getting ready for.
And there'll be some more moving around in the auditorium, hopefully. We're
Because
gonna,
our goal is what? We want to facilitate 1,200 people.
1,200
Here on that campus.
in three services.
Yeah, in 3 services.
Yeah, that's
including
the goal.
kids.
Yeah.
Including kids.
Yeah.
So,
So we're gonna move some other stuff around. We'll let you in on the secret if you listen. So we're probably gonna move the not probably, the plan is to move the sound booth a little bit. Change the entryway.
the way you get into the auditorium is even going to change at some point. So, listen, there's one thing we do around here. Change. Right, John? John knows.
Nothing stays the same.
John, how many offices have you had since you've been at Transformation Church?
Thousands.
Yeah. I know
5 years.
I know that's like a joke, but it's actually true. No, I've had like 10
And at different locations.
at different locations.
Yeah.
He's even gone from like
Yeah. I mean, you've had, what, 4 here?
Sort of.
Yeah, you've had 4 workspace.
Yeah.
A workspace. No.
Yeah.
You've had 4 here. You had
he's gone from an office to a counter.
no. You have had more than that. I mean, you had 4 here. You had 3 or 4 at W Street. You had 3 or 4 at DeSoto.
I had more at DeSoto than I had anywhere else.
Yeah, you
'Cause
had
there
5
were
or 6.
more offices than we knew what to do
Oh
with.
yeah,
in
we
that
had offices
building.
everywhere over there.
You
but-
moved around at DeSoto a lot.
Yeah, I went from upstairs, downstairs to that one room that no one was using. Then I went over to Pastor Dan's office because he wasn't using that one.
Yep.
And then I went from Pastor Dan's office to another. I don't remember.
I forgot you were upstairs. Well, upstairs was no man's land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
You're liable to have a rat run across your desk.
Well, there was we had 2 rooms up there that were like renovated, which
Yeah.
was the creative space.
Yeah.
And the,
You never went up there, did you?
No.
And,
The
bro, you
office
need,
right
like,
across.
and the one across. Yeah, that. Yeah.
Because that was the one that the other 2 were in.
Yeah.
You needed to be packing to go up there. You could. You might have.
sketch,
You might have
bro.
saw a roach. You might have saw a rat.
Might as well person.
You might have saw a homeless person
You knew, yeah.
that found the spot.
You never
might
know.
have. You might have saw a demon. I mean, there's no. There's
That was honestly that was one of the reasons why I moved downstairs because I started hearing
Well,
stuff
'cause
and
at
no
one
one was
point-
up there.
Yeah, at one point John was up there like by himself a lot, and he was like, I don't think this.
It was
this
creepy a
ain't
bit.
It, This
It was
ain't
creepy a bit.
It was really sketch. It had the hallway was long and narrow. Definitely had a horror movie kind of vibe to it.
Back in the day, it was offices and stuff.
Yeah.
But because of a roof leak, it smelled real bad up there. You know, it's probably mold. You know.
Oh, definitely mold.
You know,
yeah.
so-
yeah.
Yeah. Residual spirits from the revival.
Oh, yeah.
Different kind of spirits, but yeah. So it
was quite a sight.
It was all the
to see.
spirits that they delivered. They all went
Yeah.
upstairs.
So funny story. So if you know Pensacola well, listeners, if you don't know Pensacola well, this won't make quite as much sense to you. If you know Pensacola well, our church building was pretty much at the corner of W Street and Cervantes.
Yeah.
Just like a block off of that.
Yeah.
But essentially that was where it was.
It's technically what Y in DeSoto.
Y in DeSoto, but it was a block removed from W Street and Cervantes. If
Yeah.
you know Pensacola, that ain't it. All right, that's you. You don't stop going down that road if you can help it. Like we got stories on stories from. I remember. This is a story off a story, but I got to tell it just to make people understand. I had a corner office, so my office could see the intersection of Y and DeSoto. And there was this lady that would walk down the street
yeah.
on the regular.
Yep.
At the time, she was always on some sort of drug, meth, but this was when Flocka was on a rise. And so I look out the window. Yeah, right. I look out the window one day and she's laying on her back with her feet on the ground. So her knees were bent and she was using her feet to push herself down the road and was just sliding on her back down the road facing the sky. And I was like, so I called the cops again on her, not like come arrest her, but like, hey,
Just come check
she's
it.
not okay. Yeah. Like we might need to get her help, like whatever. I had tried to offer help before. That didn't go well. So I was like, y'all might need to come check it out. And they were like, oh, blonde, 5'7", but and they were just describing her. I was like, yeah, and they're like, oh, that's Trish. She'll be all right. That was what they told me on the phone. I was like, oh my gosh. So, but all that to say, so we were in a real sketchy place. So back to my story. So we would get notifications when the power went out. So we had access control. You remember that? Oh, yeah. We had access control where you could swipe your card and get in. Well,
there were magnets.
The type of locks use electricity for the magnets on the door. So if the power was out more than 3 hours, the backups would go dead and the magnets would release the doors. And now the doors are unlocked for anybody in the community.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning because no one else on my team answered the phone. And and I get a phone call and it's like, hey, this is so-and-so. We're letting you know the magnets have released on your building. So the doors are now unlocked if you need to do anything about that. And I'm like, yeah, we need to do something about that.
Yeah.
And so
that would be bad.
So keep in mind, like drug dealing, like everything. So I call my boy Omar, who was going to the church at the time. Now they live in Atlanta. Shout out to Omar and Mandy. But he was a former professional boxer, and also like he was a big
ripped.
I mean, dude was massive. He was the only person I could think of at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, this dude's absolutely awake. I called him and he answered the phone first ring. What's up, brother? I was like, hey man, we got a situation. I told him what was going on. And he said, oh, I'll meet you there in 20 minutes. And so we met up there and he brought some problem solvers. I brought problem solvers just in case there was a problem that needed to be solved. And, and we cleared the building and then put chains and deadbolts on the door from the inside and locked it. I mean, it was unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, so I used to go out, like we had this little shed out back that had some stuff in it, but rarely do we go out back. And I went out there one day for something, and I'm looking around like something's like the like stuff was never how you left it.
Right.
Like we had a big hose that we would use for baptism, and the hose was, and I'm like looking, and there's a fire escape stairwell from the upstairs on the back side, and they got this hose rigged up. Shower. The guys were using it as a shower. There's dirty underwear on the thing. They were out there stealing the water, but doing showers and
just on the other side of the chain link fence behind the building was an abandoned house. That homeless people and
lived in.
People and drug addicts and stuff lived in.
The woods were real thick, so you couldn't see it from either side road, but directly behind us,
you could see it.
You could see it, and I went in it one day, and I say a house, it was more like it was very old. Like there was no windows, no doors. It was almost like a fort type thing. And one day I was with someone and I saw, I go out back and I come around the corner and I saw a guy hopping our fence over there, and he saw me and I was like, hey, what's going on? And then they kind of
a deeper voice.
Like, yeah. That stuff. I think that people probably check the doors every night to see if we lock them and stuff.
Nah.
I mean, it was wild.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was a rough building.
Yeah,
it was a rough building. But anyhow, I don't know how we got talking about that.
Yeah.
John's offices.
John's offices. Oh, man, that was a tangent.
Now, did you move offices when you got to the other building? Because you guys had off-site.
We went to W Street.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. So at one point, we had like a creative office where several of them were in.
Well, we had it as a podcast office.
We did. Yeah. And then he was in like they were all out there together, like we called it the annex or something. And then we let him move in there. We moved them, then moved them back out at some point. Yeah, it was back and forth,
So at least 20-something times.
He's probably moved close to 20 times.
Yeah.
Realistically,
I liked W Street, the offices.
W Street offices were dope.
I liked it over there.
Yeah, it was really.
I had windows.
Yeah,
I missed the windows in my office the most.
Yeah, it was just like it was cool because it was genuinely the first place that felt how we wanted it to feel. We inherited somebody else's space so many times that it was the first time like we put the carpet down, we painted the walls. It felt like us, like it was our space, and so
it was cool.
It was.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We liked it over there. I did anyways.
We really,
I enjoyed it.
But
Yeah, if we keep having to turn offices into kids' classrooms. We were talking about trying to get that mug back.
I wish we had it. We'd be over there right
For the amount of money that we had it before, it would be nice to have.
We'd be over there now because I think we would need the space.
Yeah, 100%.
It had a loading dock in the back, like a bay door
wow.
with
Bay door.
like warehouse shelving in the back. Like it had everything.
Yep.
We outfitted it with those lights, those dimming lights, like in the next steps room.
Yeah.
It was super vibey. We had TVs.
We
I
had
had
TVs.
we had a whole system in there. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
It was nice.
Exactly how our lobby is now is how it was there. The same
That's true.
speakers. We had two
Yeah, that's
TVs
true,
though.
yeah.
Subs.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it there.
It was cool, man. So and then we moved here.
We moved here. Yeah, and this has been cool, but
And now we're just outgrowing.
Yeah,
less-
now
we-
we're
we- less-
outgrowing this place.
we have less offices than we've ever had, and the staff is twice as big as ever been.
It's true. It's true. Listen, we are efficient in maximizing space opportunities. I'll put it that way. We're going to figure out how to put more people in less space.
Well, we're back this week. Y'all didn't podcast last week, did you?
No.
No, we didn't.
And all that to say is talking about a growing church. Friend Day.
Friend Day.
Friend Day is
Friend
on
Day.
October
1st.
1st, baby.
What a creative name we come up with.
Yeah.
Bring a friend,
Friend
to
Day.
church. Bring a friend to church.
Day.
Dinner on the Grounds Day.
Yeah. No, for real. I literally was like, man, what is a family day? But I was like, I wanted it to be like crystal clear. Like,
Yeah. Bring a friend.
bring a friend. Yeah. It wasn't like, me and John went back and forth and like, invite a friend. And it was like, bring
Friend
a friend.
Day.
Like, so
So everyone bring a friend.
everyone bring a friend October 1st.
We're gonna have some special stuff.
A lot of special stuff taking place.
We're gonna have overflow room, some kind of,
Hopefully.
probably.
Something.
But in every chair we got in the auditorium, we got.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you're one of our people,
Go and
you will be asked that day when you sit down to go ahead and scoot in.
scoot
right.
into the middle.
So it's coming.
SOS. Scoot over.
No
Sean.
NC seats.
It's coming. So just scoot in.
Yeah.
Just scoot in.
Be a team player, and let's all scoot in until we can have all. Here's why. Once worship starts and everyone's standing up, the ushers can't tell where the empty seats are. It's
Right.
easy. So we need everyone to just scoot in, so it's easy because we're gonna be every chair will probably be full.
Yeah.
Do
We need
go
it. We
ahead and
need
take a
it.
guess of what we think attendance will look like that day.
Including kids.
Well, we
Including kids.
were like 948 this past Sunday.
And that's just crazy to me.
That includes what did I tell Crystal earlier? That's 200 kids.
Right.
Just under. So that's 200 kids. So you're talking 748, 750 adults.
Right.
I'm gonna say 1250. We're doing Price is Right rules.
Like, don't go over.
Yeah, you don't want to go over.
You're saying
949. No, I'm just kidding.
1251.
950.
Nice. Yeah.
950. If 750, half of that. 1250 is probably a good guess. I'm gonna say 13. I'm gonna say we hit 13.
Come on. Let's go. I like your optimism.
Love
I'm
that.
optimistic too. What you say, Rick? You can be the high number?
1301.
13, I was about to say 1301.
1301.
Yeah.
If we're including kids,
Yes. Including kids.
so maybe I'm not the most optimistic person. I'm thinking logistically, on the ground, I would say, you said 1250?
Yeah. Justin said 13.
13. I'm looking at 1229.
All right.
Thanks, Bob Barker.
That's
All
right. So,
Hey, we'll see what
John, what say you?
I am Bob Barker, so I don't get to guess.
You're going. You need. We got. You gotta get in on this.
No, I'm the pretty girl in the corner. No, I'm just kidding.
Nobody puts baby.
wow.
No one puts baby in the corner.
Right.
I don't know. 12:30.
There you go. I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
One above mine.
Yeah. So we have a 1229, a 1230, and a 1250.
And a 13.
And then a 1301. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll see.
It'd be dope, man. I mean,
Yeah.
bro. If we had 1400, that would be
crazy.
Wild. It'd be wild.
So that's October 1st. Going to be a good day. We're in the soundtrack series.
Yeah.
We will be then, but we're in the soundtrack series now.
Yep.
Y'all didn't podcast last week. Me and Brad were in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas,
And,
baby.
It was wild.
It was wild. Boy, let me tell y'all. I can't even tell y'all all of what happened because we just don't have that much time. But Justin was in his element.
Well, short version is.
All right, short version. Who you want to start?
We a couple years ago we went and got trained and certified to be practitioners for the Enneagram,
Which is like a coach.
Yeah, through the specific Enneagram assessment.
Yeah.
This was level 2 training on how do you apply this with teams. At least it was supposed to be.
All right.
We
need to paint the picture of level 1 first.
Okay, level 1, Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Conference room at a hotel.
A nice hotel, like one of the nicer hotels in Atlanta.
Yeah, an Omni.
So
they set up for meeting space, right? Which means when you're in a meeting, they provide all this like
Cokes,
constant
snacks.
sodas, water, coffee, snacks,
flavored creamers.
morning snack and an afternoon snack on top of those snacks, like an official snack they would bring.
Yeah.
And do something catered lunch because it's a work day. It's 8:30 to 5.
Cookies.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
8:30 to 5. So like, while you're in this training all day, you need coffee. Boom, it's right there. You want a soda. Boom, it's right there. You want some candy. Boom, it's right there. And then they will take and in our breaks they would bring in like fresh baked cookies or whatever.
Yeah.
Real nice. Take care of you because you're there all day. This was not that. So they said in the email, it's at a venue. They rented a venue. It's not at a hotel.
Oh, it was.
And then the venue they would be catered. They would cater lunch in. What I did not know is this venue. The name of it doesn't give it away, but it's like this. It's like Hippieville. It is. It is this place. It's a nonprofit. They said, but it's like all these different buildings and rooms, and they do weird stuff. And if you're into this stuff, no offense to you, but it was super weird.
Full offense.
Now yoga's not
All
so
offense
weird,
to
but it was like yoga, but it was really hippie stuff. So we get there, no coffee in our room. She says, "Oh, you just got to go to the coffee shop that's on campus, vegan coffee shop." Which I don't want that. I want coffee. I don't want a vegan. You know, if you're a vegan, cool. But 95% of the rest of the world ain't. You know,
I think it's 99. But
You
yeah.
know? So it's one thing to have vegan options. It's another to only be vegan and have no other options.
So yeah, so just to make like, what does that look like for a coffee shop? If you want milk in your coffee or creamer in your coffee, the
Yeah.
only option is either oat milk
or
milk with a Y,
MYLK,
which is made out of mushrooms.
Oh my gosh.
and let me tell you the smell of this place. The whole place smelled horrible.
Like an armpit. The whole place smelled like an armpit.
The people that were there looked like they smelled bad. They have a cafeteria where the food was for lunch was a vegan. So they have a cafeteria there, of vegan food only.
Vegan community cafeteria.
This place was weird, but it was real hippie. Like there's like Buddha statues, and like everyone's all spiritual, and like there's signs on these different rooms where there's like biomagnetic therapy this way, and then like literally the last day we were there was a dude in the cafeteria dressed as a monk. Now I guess that means he's a monk. I don't know if monks are real
Or he
Halloween.
identifies as one.
or identifies as monk. There was a lot of identifying
A
going on.
lot
in
of
this place.
identification
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
The place was so hippie and weird.
If you want to look it up, it was Casa de Luz, CASADELUZ in Austin, Texas. If you just want to take a gander at what that might be,
Yeah. So anyways, we're in one of the rooms. We're doing our Enneagram stuff, but it was not what we expected. I was expected to learn the Enneagram in a way that it applies to doing team and team building, and it was very, very frou-frou-y, trying to make it
Universalist.
spiritual.
Yeah.
We had to they wanted to do like this group therapy sessions, and they want to talk about your feelings and.
Justin was not doing that.
And now, I immediately noticed there's a lot to make fun of. Now, you can't put me in that environment for 4 days and expect me not to make fun of it.
My abs were hurting. I was laughing so hard.
Out loud to everyone.
I was laughing at Justin.
The woman, the lady leading it, she didn't like me
She did
because she was taking it real serious.
Yeah, no, this is her. Yeah,
It was a little
hippie-ish.
ridiculous. It was a little.
Because you guys went on magic carpet rides.
Listen. This woman with a straight face. We go into this room, and this woman with a straight face says, "There's a magical energy on the carpet."
And was serious, not like hot, like.
And everybody was
No,
like,
she-
"Oh!" And I said, "What did you just say?" And I said, "You said there's a magical energy." So we're in teams, and so the Enneagram, the carpet we're talking about is the Enneagram symbol, and there's a reason, and some of that does make sense, and it can be helpful if you're doing like Enneagram work, but not whatever she was trying to have us do. So the team the team was supposed to get up there, and then everybody else doesn't talk. We observe because we are holding the space for them to do their deep work. And they get soft like this when they talk and kind of breathy, like it's time for some deep work. And we're going to hold the space. And it was really weird like that. And I'm over here like, are all of y'all serious? And I'm looking around like everyone in there is an intelligent adult. And I'm like, y'all, I told the girl, I was like, she just said magic. And no one batted an eye except like me and Brad and one other girl. And everyone else was like, oh, magic. And they're taking their shoes off to connect to ground. And I'm like, I'm not doing all this. So when I had to stand up, we had to stand up and you have to talk and share. And I said, the very first day I said,
yeah, you did.
What did I say? I said, first of all, for the sake of just being honest with everyone, I hate this. This is stupid, and I'm not interested in talking about my feelings with people I don't know.
He said, "I'll tell you what I think."
And they're all kind of looking at me. I said, "Y'all are all talking about feelings," and I said, "And I don't know if feelings have to do with any of this, but I will tell you what I think. I think this is kind of weird, but I don't have any feelings toward it."
It was.
And the teacher's just like.
It was pretty. It was a lot. There was a lot going on.
It was so weird. There's more to it. There was some funny stuff.
Our room was next door to a elixir bar.
That's true.
Where they had they made drinks with ceremonial grade cacao paste.
Literally, this is the video.
That's on the sign.
And I told him, I said, "With these weird people like in this thing, dude. If you're one of these people, I keep calling you weird. I'm sorry, but you got to admit it's kind of weird. Like it seems like they just take words and put them together." Like they don't make sense together. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So here's just case in point.
What is a ceremonial grade cacao paste?
So the drink that has the ceremonial grade cacao paste also has nutrients in Ayurvedic and adaptogenic elixir.
Yeah.
That don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything. No one talks like that in real life. It was so strange. It was like this was like. Austin, the saying is like keep Austin weird.
Yeah.
They were. It was like Seattle moved to Austin. It was so strange.
Yeah.
And I don't pick on I feel well maybe I did. I like to pick on just about
We're
anything.
picking on anybody, but usually not out in the air.
That was I could not. Like this was perfect material.
So,
The first day after I was bored, I Googled things to say in a meeting to sound interested. And I told Brad, I'm going to find one of these every day and then I'm going to weave it in. Because as she's teaching, people just sharing their thoughts. And they all say stuff like, that resonates with me deep down in my inner self, my authentic self. There's a lot of talk like that. Am I lying?
No, that's all what.
So it's like, there's a lot of like my truth and authentic self-talk. And so the first day I decided I was going to say is, it's all about just finding the balance and everything, and I just said it at some random time when she was talking, and it fit because when you say nonsense and then you just say more nonsense, it fits.
Oh yeah, no, people were agreeing with you. Yeah, balance.
It was so weird.
It was so weird. I adapted. I took one. I got one.
Yeah, you did the.
There's a lot of gravity to that.
Yeah, that was good. So it was strange. So we came home early.
I got a wow from Jack on that. when I said that.
Listen, Jack was ready to wow anything he could. Our friend Jack. No, actually, we met some cool people.
There were everybody in the room was cool, and it is sometimes nice to be around people that are just so different from you because it does help you. Like, wow, this is wild.
I enjoyed the people in our
live like
group,
this.
even the ones that were taking it serious.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
You could appreciate their connection.
I could see what they were trying to do, but I was like, this is just too much for me. And at the end of the day, I think I was telling y'all earlier, at the end of the day, I even get it. And I think the Enneagram, from a personality and figuring yourself out, there is some deep work you can do. Sure. My whole point I told him was, I'm not interested in doing that with a room full of people that I do not know. If I'm going to do therapy, I want to do it with a therapist.
Right.
Not some, eucalyptus drinking, sound pot using weirdo.
So here's a menu that I found that I took a picture of while we were there.
Of
one of the Elixir bars. This is the names of the drinks. Gentle Activation. A chocolatey chai taste with a gentle boost for the brain and focused energy with the ceremonial grade cacao and ashwagandha turmeric. Another one is Lucid Dreams. Definitely need to stay away from that. There's one called Internal Cleanse. I think you can guess what that's about.
Yeah.
One is Soul Cleanse, Grounded Presence, Spicy Mayan, Glowing Relaxation, Green Energy, The Goddess of Feel.
It was hippie, bro.
It was wild. Oh, then the guy.
Oh yeah, talk about
So
the
there
guy.
was
We'll move on.
So I walk out. If you wanted to get water, if you wanted to refill your water canteen, because they didn't have any, you had to go to the community vegan cafeteria, and so that smelled like feet. And so I went in there to get water, and I walk out, and there is a guy, he's a white dude, cargo khaki shorts, no shirt, no shoes, long dreadlocks up in a bun on his head with a feather in his hair. And he's swinging from pillar to pillar on the pergola walkway thing. And he just looks down at me and it's like, sup, man? And keeps swinging.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is perfect.
My first thought was like, no job.
Yeah,
It's a Monday.
He was there every day.
People were just chilling.
Remember that one girl that was sitting out there on the second day with the red hair?
Yeah.
And I came out there and I thought she was like working.
Oh.
And she was just sitting there staring straight ahead. No AirPods, no. And she was out there for hours.
Yep.
Doing nothing.
Just grounding.
Just staring at the wall. It was wild. That's what we did last week.
That was her authentic self.
Connecting to the universe.
Yeah. So if you're into that, good for you. I'm not, and I will make fun of it. So
in all fairness, we're equal opportunity insulters.
Yeah.
We'll make fun of anybody.
Make fun of me.
about
I'm
you.
cool with it. But that was really strange.
It was
strange
wild.
for me. I didn't like it at all. And I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to Austin, but not to the Village Casa de Luz thing. Not doing it.
We had some good food. We had Chewy's. We had Terry Black's barbecue.
Had a good burger one night.
Yeah.
We had a good.
The hotel had
chicken
pretty
sandwich.
decent breakfast. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Did.
I was ready to come home,
Me too.
so we did.
I miss my wife.
Well, originally I'm in leadership Pensacola this class, and I can only miss every month. We have a day that we commit to, and then I was gonna miss the day, and you can only miss one. And it was going to be the only one. And it was our first one.
Yeah.
And then when we were talking about maybe we should just go home early, I was like, if I can get home tonight, I can go to LEAP tomorrow. That's what I did Thursday. I was at Navy Fed all day, and I was able to make the LEAP class, which was far more beneficial than where we were.
I have no doubt.
So we didn't get home till
Midnight.
we changed
Almost midnight, right?
Midnight.
Yeah, we changed our flights around. We left
We
at
dropped
6.
you off at 12, and we
Yeah, it
got
was-
home at 12:30.
It was late.
Me and Ash did. Yeah.
So, but we made it home, and then I was at Navy Fed by 7:30 on Thursday, but I was there all day.
I was gassed, dude. Did I tell you how long I slept?
No, I don't want to hear because I was not sleeping.
I slept till 11:20 the next day.
Ooh.
Well, because I was only getting, I don't know if you realize, I was only getting like 2 hours of sleep in Austin
Oh,
because I couldn't sleep in the bed, and so I was getting like 2 hours of sleep. So I was done. That's why I was like, when you were like, maybe we should, and I was like, yep, because I knew exactly. Maybe we should go home right now. Yes, that's what we should do. Let's do it. So
it's a shame because we loved the first one.
the first one was literally life changing, and this one definitely gave us some stories, but it was life changing in that I'm not going to change my life to be a person that goes to those types of places often. But
anyways, back to soundtracks.
if you're listening to this podcast still,
old Ricardo got to preach on Sunday.
yes, he did.
I did.
Preached a message on soundtracks.
Soundtracks. Yep.
It was a good message.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
Good
It was a
job.
good message.
I was really glad that Pastor Brad let me play Marvin Gaye.
My legs
Let's
asleep.
get it on.
Yo, my legs asleep.
Absolutely.
I just felt it. It's like numb, the whole thing. My mom and stepdad were here. You know, they've been coming, but I saw them after. They both really liked it. My mom brought her sister. My aunt was with her. She liked it. It was a good message. No,
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
About your thoughts.
Yes. Aligning our thoughts.
Aligning our
thoughts. What's funny is I had a conversation, somebody after my 8:30 meeting this morning, somebody shot me a text and was like, can you, do you have at least 1 minute to talk? I'm like, well, yeah. And they go to our church. And they're just going through a rough spot. And I'm like, well, you do know everything that you're going through. I preached yesterday.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, I was out of town. I was like, okay, well, go back and watch it. It was really good.
Here's a YouTube link, but
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was beneficial. A lot of people, I think the one that for a lot of folks, I keep hearing the one statement that resonated a lot was when we don't surrender our minds to Christ, then we will surrender our lives to chaos. And that's kind of been the one everybody's been
good.
like,
Yep.
hey, listen, my life has been chaotic and you're right. It's because I haven't surrendered my mind to Christ here lately.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. No, and of course, like we say every week, you can go watch the whole thing. Please do on YouTube or our website or whatever. I'll listen to it on the podcast.
Yep.
It was good. You want to walk through any points or anything?
I mean, there was a lot. I mean,
You got a lot of scripture.
11:30 service. I was
you were
way over.
Yeah.
Way over.
we went full Pentecostal in the
I
11:30.
sure did. Well,
you
Pastor
know.
Brad gave me some solid advice after 8:30 service, and so then I'm trying to package it all together, right? Especially as a communicator, I've been doing it for a while, so I love getting feedback from really phenomenal communicators like Pastor Brad, and so by 11:30 service, like now, and I'm feeling it. Like, okay, gymnast, land. All right, got it, land. I'm going to land every point. And I'm looking going, Rick, you're landing every point, but yet the time clock says it's time to shut up. And so yeah.
You were like almost 15 over or something.
Nah, I was like 16, maybe
Yeah.
17. So I don't know. So
a lot.
full Pentecostal. Full Pentecostal. So, but I did warn everybody. I was like, Pentecostal people are pretty long-winded. So
You did.
yeah.
You did say that.
Almost fair.
But no, it was good. The whole premise. I like this series a lot.
Oh man, the series has been life-changing.
The
I think it's been
premise.
great. Yeah.
I was thinking about what my song would have been. Like you were talking about Friday night, you had the Montel Jordan song. It's like, what was the song back in the day? For us, I think it was. I remember at one point it would have been like "Hood Rich" by Big Timers or something like that. Was a big hit at one point when I was like 16ish.
Well, what was the doom, 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 by the Big Timers? I gotta look
I
it
don't know
up.
which
I gotta
one.
look it up.
But so that was funny. Of course, that Montel Jordan song. I mean, that's a classic.
Oh man, that was.
I mean, that's
everybody went nuts
that's a
over
hit,
that.
you know.
So
But yeah, no, it's a good series, and I think it's because it's so relatable.
Yeah.
Everybody can understand what you don't have to be. Everybody can understand what you're saying.
Still fly.
Oh yeah, Still Fly. That's what I meant. Hood Rich.
Yeah.
I meant Still Fly.
Yeah, but I
Hood Rich was the album, I think. Yeah. It was Still Fly.
Yeah, don't look that up. But
Yeah.
no, when Rick was like, I remember when I was driving in 1995 and on the freeway, I was like, God.
I saw everybody's face. I'm like, dang, I'm that old.
Hey,
So-
95. God.
Oh, my gosh, don't remind me.
95. Was you driving in 95 for real?
Yeah, because I was born in '80. So I turned-
I'm just kidding. Justin was born
like
in
that
81.
Kevin
Don't worry
Hart.
about it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That is not true.
But yeah, because I got my hardship. So I was raised by my grandparents, and so I don't know the laws here, but you can get a hardship license where you can drive on your own. But you just have boundaries from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. things like that. And so I was able to drive at.
We had those boundaries at 16, even as a licensed driver.
Yeah.
You had to, like, you couldn't be out past like 11 on the week during the week, like midnight on the weekend or something.
And I think at 11. But I think at one point, if you were 16 and only had your permit, you could drive within certain time frames and certain
I don't think
hours and
so.
stuff. I know you could drive to work.
I don't remember that. I remember even as a licensed driver at 16, you had like a curfew, and
Yeah,
at
you
17
had a
it went up a
curfew.
little bit.
Yeah.
but we still had them.
Yep.
Is that still now? Like, is that a thing now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I found out the other day the driver's license is vertical for some people.
Under 21.
Under
Is
20?
that okay?
Yeah, that's something under 21.
I pay so little attention to my driver's license that I had a brief heart attack moment when we were flying because I keep thinking that it's expired.
Well,
And then I was worried about another thing.
yeah.
When I fly, it doesn't matter how many times I check, I still get super anxious about flying and being worried that there's a problem solver in my backpack. And so I was like,
Straight to jail.
I was so nervous. I don't know why it just hit me, and I was like, just so nervous. I was like, oh gosh. I didn't, obviously.
Good.
I'm
Thank
here.
God.
But
Yeah.
He made it through.
made it through. But
Nah, man. Y'all go watch the message on Soundtracks, and then come join us on tomorrow. On tomorrow.
Yeah.
yeah, don't come tomorrow.
I'll come tomorrow. Sunday.
Unless you're listening to this
Sunday.
on Saturday.
And then October 1st, Friend Day, gonna be a big day.
Big day. Huge.
Gonna have a little stuff going on.
Yep.
And then what else is going on?
Oh
I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's for a few
now?
weeks.
For now. I mean, then we got Trick or Treat,
Trick or treat's not too far away.
Man,
away.
Trick or Treat's gonna be
Church at the Movies.
Church at the movies.
Like,
the big reveal. Some of the stuff coming up. The expansion.
October
Super
22nd.
Yeah.
That's what we can say.
That's
Yeah.
October 22nd.
You're gonna want to be in this building.
That's right.
telling
That's
you
right. That's
now.
right. That's right. So
So you don't want to be live streaming that day
that's right.
that's right.
unless you live in like Japan or something.
Or somewhere not close.
So
Yeah.
we're not close.
Awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't talk much about Rick's sermon, but
Yeah.
It was really good. Everybody needs to go listen to it.
Yeah.
might
That
get
was,
saved.
that was one of the quotes that I had put down.
We had a few salvations.
Awesome.
I forget the number, 6 or 4 or 5 or something.
Come on.
I have to look.
Come on.
That's always awesome.
I don't
That's
know how many
always
guests
good.
we had.
I think 6.
Your first time. Or guests.
I think 6
New
it was.
6 that filled out cards at
They
least.
fill out cards. Yeah. There's always people that don't.
There's
fill out
always
cards.
people that are here that don't fill out cards.
Always.
So,
Always.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here. Let these guys go to work downstairs and finish our new stage.
Let's
go.
John, you good back there? You got anything?
No, I'm good.
Oh, well, he's good.
John's good. Well, Justin,
Yep.
if this podcast inspired someone out there in the real world
I know it did.
to to want to know more about us or this church,
You sound like the people at the retreat.
if this podcast,
If you want to learn
Delilah.
more about your authentic self,
you want to learn more, if somehow they are inspired to know more about us, where might they find that kind of information?
man, look to just go to transformationchurch.com or at Transformation Pensacola on all our on social platforms, including YouTube. Boom, chugga, boom, boom.
Well, I tell you what, people got some nerve.
Uh-oh.
People got nerve.
Why are you bringing something up? We're leaving.
I know. I just saw it. I was just think,
Call them out.
well, people got some. Well, yeah, people just get mad. You know, I think unfriending on Facebook is the dumbest thing in the world. When you unfriend somebody,
Like you shouldn't unfriend people?
Like, well, I do. Like if you got in a fight over something dumb or whatever, like people unfriend me whenever they leave the church, which I don't really care about. It's whatever. I don't care about all that. But like they unfriended me on Facebook, but still sent me an invitation to like their business page.
Hey.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna be a hard pass.
Yeah, just don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And don't be that person. Lesson of the day.
Yeah. I mean, some of y'all need. Let me go ahead and say this. I know we're logging off. I'm just gonna go say this. I don't check messages, y'all, on Facebook. Hardly on Instagram. So if you don't use that as a means of connection for me, please don't, because I don't check none of that. So
yeah,
people. I did have someone a couple weeks ago. They're like, "I've been messaging you on Facebook." I said, "I don't look at those. I don't."
Well, you would never get off your phone,
Yeah. Well, that's like a direct line of access from people. But also, I'll just be honest with you, like, chicks be wilding out there. Like, you get weird messages. I'm like, nope, I ain't doing that. Nope.
I wish Facebook would let you turn Messenger off. But
that would be fantastic.
You can delete the app. Right. Or you can only get your messages on your computer.
On your computer.
But I wish there was like a way to I don't want people to be able to message me at all.
Yeah.
Because you get spam or like if someone's account gets hacked, then they're messaging.
They send it to you.
Yeah, I wish I could turn it off, but you can't.
Yeah. So
Mark Zuckerberg fixed that.
I just feel like everybody needs to know. That is not a reliable means of connection. If you're trying to get a hold of Pastor Brad, don't do that. So
yeah,
I don't know why I feel like I need. Because we're doing it. So, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in.
Boom.
Go to all the places Justin just sent you. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Good job, Rick.
We'll see you
Thanks.
next week.
See y'all next week for another week, another sermon.
Message recap
Message recap podcast.
Later.
Later.